Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Ross Reviews, where today we have a very special review for you guys. This is a FD2 Civic Type R. This is the special one. This is the one exclusively sold in Japan. This is being freshly imported here in Australia, and look at this thing. This is in championship white. We got the legendary K20A VTEC engine here, and this is going to be a lot of fun. To the purists, this is the last true Civic Type R. So let's get in this car and see what it's all about. What is going on, everybody, and welcome to the FD2 Civic Type R. This is, to the purists, the last true Civic Type R ever in existence. This one is still got all those base roots of the proper Civic Type R, which is lightweight and just have a high revving, naturally aspirated engine. Now, just before we continue with this video, please go ahead and make sure you hit that big red subscribe button and click the bell notifications just so you get updated on all our weekly uploads. Just getting into some of these VTECs here. Oh, this car, wow, you've got this little VTEC gauge up on the front dash, so you kind of have your center tachometer right in front of you, which really does look spot on. I like that. You really do have this long, massive windscreen in front of you. The dash just really extends far out there, and because of this, you get this very long A-pillar right in your kind of field of vision, which does block it a little bit, but they did actually put in this little tiny windscreen in there just so you can kind of have that small bit of visibility back. But this is actually a structural thing where Honda, from the base subframe of this car, really wanted to strengthen it, and they put this nice sort of large strong triangle right here on the corner, and it makes this car extremely rigid, so much so that it is claimed to be 50% more rigid than the DC5 Integra Type R, which is a massive improvement. Oh, yeah, it's fun. It is fun. Now let me tell you guys a little something. I know a lot of people hate front-wheel drive cars, but when you have an overpowered front-wheel drive car that lets you get a little bit of torque steer like this car does, it is so much fun. It is the best thing. And just sending it right there out of a corner, you do get that little bit of wheel pull from the front wheels there when you get into VTEC, and I am really happy that it is in there, because a lot of car reviewers praise cars for not having torque steer. Well, if it doesn't have any torque steer, I'm not happy, because that really adds to the excitement, the fun of it. And just as you've seen there, you kind of really got to hold on, watch that VTEC gauge go, get it into the next gear, and yeah, it is an experience and very engaging. let's get under the bonnet of what is actually in this car. Well, this has the legendary K20A. This is a 2-liter inline 4-cylinder VTEC, and it is a naturally aspirated engine. This thing makes around 222 horsepower from factory and about 159 pound-footed torque. So you really do got to wring this car out to get all that 222 horsepower. And driving it today, it feels pretty healthy. It really does. Now let's get into some of the 5 questions here, and we always start off with sound. So just gonna lower the window here. Oh, it's good. It really is. Now, the exhaust note, this is a stock car, so there is literally nothing done to this car. And it really does not sound all that great, but the fact that you can hear that VTEC really engage, you can hear those cam profiles change, and it's addictive to get that noise in here. So it actually, you know, all considering, I do actually like the sound of this car. Now handling, well, this is where the car really shines. This has hydraulic steering, none of that electrical crap, and my goodness, is it responsive. Just the littlest input, and this car just darts around. You know where your wheels are at all times. And just from how this car was built, from the subframe, they have just cut out as much weight as possible. So much so that they haven't even tack welded this car's frame. So it's all adhesively stuck together just to save weight. And aluminum is featured so much in this car, again, just to get that weight number down. And the car weighs in at about 1.2 ton. So, you know, it's not heavy. It really isn't. I really love the driving position in this car. The wheel feels excellent. The steering is excellent. The gearbox is excellent. The pedal position just, it is just very, very well laid out, very well designed, and just simple and easy to use. That play in the wheel, oh yes, that's what I'm talking about. I love that torque steer fight. That is just some of the best. And that 50% rigidity, oh, you can really feel it here. This thing may be glued together, but my God, it's stable as hell. Wow, it's good. Now, practicality. Well, practicality in its sense is not too bad. You know, this is a Honda, it's a 4-door sedan. It's not a whole lot to complain about. It's easy to drive. It's pretty practical. You got a good boot size, but then we come into the negatives. And unfortunately, there are a few. Let's start off with how stiff this car is. Now, we talked about that rigidity, and you know, it is good for on the track, in the corners, but for daily driving, this car is stiff. And you know, we're talking probably Focus RS stiff level here. So, you know, be prepared for some jarring bumps when you go over them, because yeah, it's harsh in here. It really is harsh. Now, one other negative about this car is that it's a 4-seater. So for those of you who didn't know, this is a 4-seater car. The back seats do have a little bit of bolstering to them, so that's nice. But the middle seat is not there. So you've got, 2 seat belts back there, and it's a 4-seater car. price? Well, I'm actually not sure what this car was valued at in Japan. I believe a fully loaded one was somewhere around 3 million yen, which I think translates to about 40,000-ish Australian dollars. Now, I could be, a little bit higher, a little bit less. Somebody, if you know, leave it in the comments, please. Now, on the used market, these cars over the past couple of months have really started to skyrocket. So much so that here in Australia, these are quite a desired car. There's not many of them around here. And if you go on car sales, Gumtree, you'll find basically a grand total of 2 to 3 for sale. And they range anywhere between 35,000 and getting up to near 50K, depending on condition, And if you've got one under 100,000 kilometers, it's going to be pricey. This particular one is for sale from Vans West. A link will be in the description below. This is an immaculate one in the championship white, freshly imported. The condition is absolutely insane. Now, one fact I want to mention, which I think a lot of you are going to struggle to believe, is that this car was featured on a racetrack in Japan on a YouTube channel called Best Motoring. I'm going to leave a link for it in the description if you guys want to check it out for yourself. They took this car and an R34 GTR to a track, I believe it's called the Tsukuba Circuit. It's in Japan somewhere. They've got a race car driver similar to the Stig, and they did a couple of best lap times in this and in the R34. And take a guess at who won. The Civic Type R won by over 4 seconds, and that is just so impressive to me. To just that fact alone is just, it's quite insane, and really goes to show you that in the right hands, this car is an absolute beast. Now, 0 to 100. I actually don't know what the time is. I've heard it's somewhere around 6 seconds, so I don't think there's any launch control or anything here. I haven't been able to find it, so count it in. We're in first. 3, 2, 1. $100. Look, it skipped about, so man, it is a drama. This car has so much drama. Wow, it really does. It just feels so fun. It doesn't feel excessively quick to get to 100, but let me tell you, in the corners and when you're in that VTEC range, she flies. Wow. Yeah, the VTEC in this, I can understand it. I really can. I've been in a few Hondas where they preach on about VTEC power. This is the first true one I've really noticed it in, and it's got some get up and go. Wow, let me tell you, this is fun. Now, I'm going to finish the video off here today, so a huge thank you goes out to Vans West for loaning me out their FD2 Civic Type R. This is for sale, so a link is in the description below, so please make sure you go check it out because this car is not going to last long. This has really opened my eyes up to the Honda and the VTEC. This is one of my first proper Civic Type R experiences, and it didn't let me down, let me tell you what. This car is, absolutely insane and does feel like a race car. So I hope you enjoyed this week's video. If so, please remember to hit that like button. Consider subscribing if you're new here, and we'll see you on that next video.